Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Guys, on June 12, 2025, Air India Flight 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, lifted from Ahmedabad bound for London. Just 36 seconds into its flight, it issued a mayday call. Mayday, no power, no thrust. Moments later, it crashed into a medical college hostel, killing 279 people, 241 on board and 38 on the ground. Only one soul survived. So guys, this video is a careful reconstruction. What may have happened inside the cockpit, what the black boxes including the DVR might reveal, and what this tragedy mean for Indian aviation going forward. So, flight AI-171's takeoff roll began at 1:38 p.m. IST. Seconds after liftoff, air traffic control received a chilling distress call. No power, no thrust. The aircraft struggled to gain altitude, barely climbing to around 400 to 600 feet, with its landing gear still extended and flaps in takeoff position. It hovered dangerously, failed to retract its gear, and then abruptly nosed down, crashing into the nearby hostel building. The resulting fireball ignited multiple structures, setting off explosions that shook the area. The scene was one of the devastation, twisted metal, burning debris, and heartbreak. So, what exactly happened inside the cockpit? Two black boxes have been recovered so far. The first is the flight data recorder within 28 hours, and the second is the cockpit voice recorder 3 days later. In addition, investigators received a digital video recorder that may contain visual data from cabin and exterior cameras. From the CVR, analysts expect to hear critical cockpit audio, warning alarms, emergency procedures, and the crew's final exchanges. From the FDR, they will examine thrust levels, aircraft pitch, and roll angles. They will also examine the gear and flap positions, also whether there was complete thrust loss. Together, this data sources reconstruct the aircraft's final seconds. Let's explore what could be the potential causes under investigation. Investigators are exploring multiple possibilities, which is dual engine failure. A rare but catastrophic scenario, the pilots call no power hints at a potential simultaneous failure of both the GE GNX engines. Landing gear or flap misconfiguration, the gear may have stayed extended, creating excessive drag. If flaps were not properly set, lift generation would also suffer. Third is electrical system failure. It uses an advanced electrical architecture. Any malfunction in its engine control units could disrupt thrust delivery. Also, the bird strike or foreign object ingestion could be cause. The engines might have ingested birds or debris during takeoff, leading to a flameout. Engine inlets will be thoroughly examined. And next is pilot response. Did the crew follow the memory items for engine failure, where checklists use? Severe analysis will reveal their handling during stress. Maintenance or technical defect, faults in the fuel delivery, hydraulics, or sensor feedback could have caused the cascading failures. Maintenance logs are under also reviewed. Now let's see the black box forensics, why it matters. Even in the absence of survivors, the black boxes become aviation's only eyewitnesses. The CVR helps decode the crew's communication, urgency, coordination, and whether stress impacted decision making. The FDR will track exact control inputs, gear transitions, thrust changes, and any signs of a stall or glide attempt. Every second before the impact is now being reconstructed frame by frame. So, what is the aircraft history and maintenance? The Boeing 787-8 involved was around 12 years and powered by GE engines used across long-haul fleets. Following the crash, Indian regulators ordered immediate checks on all the Dreamliners in the fleet. These include inspections of engine control units, fuel management systems, cabin pressure controls, hydraulic lines. Officials are also reviewing whether any airworthiness directives were missed or deferred, and if recurring faults had been previously logged out but unresolved. These are very critical aspects to be investigated. Now let's see the human impact. On board were 159 Indian, 53 British, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian national, alongside 12 dedicated crew members. Among the victims was a prominent former political leader, the sole survivor, Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, escaped through a rear emergency exit. He lost his brother Ajay, who was seated next to him. Vishwa's survival story is both miraculous and heartbreaking, now symbolizing hope amidst the tragedy. So, guys, recovery efforts continue. As of June 16, over 100 victims have been identified using DNA testing, and the process of returning bodies to families has begun. Also, grief echoes across the continents. So, who all are in the investigation team? The investigation is being led by the India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau in collaboration with the UK's Air Accidents Investigation Branch, and also the US National Transportation Safety Board is also involved, along with the Federal Aviation Administration. They are examining engine debris, cockpit voice and flight data, digital camera footage from the DVR, also the aircraft maintenance records, and the crew training history. A preliminary report is expected in the 3 months. A final report may take up to a year. So, guys, in just 36 seconds, everything changed. Flight AI 171 became one of the deadliest aviation disasters in Indian history and a somber wake up call for the airline industry. As experts decode the final moments, the goal is clear: prevent the next tragedy. Every screw, signal, and seconds matter because those 279 lives were not just numbers, they were people with families, stories, and dreams. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown respectful and informative, please subscribe and comment below if you would like a follow-up when the official report is released. To the families affected, our deepest condolences. May their loved ones rest in peace. Goodbye.